Good day and welcome to this grow along video where we're going to be modular sowing beetroot and turnips. First of all, let me just talk about the modules that we're going to be using. These are really sturdy modules from Containerwise. There's this variety and there's also now a Charles Dowding variety on Containerwise. You can choose to get whatever you wish, obviously. If you want to use the less sturdy ones, which are much cheaper but will not last you as long, these should last 10-15 years, and the less sturdy ones actually will likely only last you 1 season or 2 seasons if you're careful. If you want to use those more flimsy ones, it's up to you, though I would invest, if you can and you can afford it, in these more sturdy ones. If you're thinking of direct sowing your beetroots and your turnips, which means sowing them direct into the ground, we are going to be doing some direct sowing next month in March. This is modular sowing to try and get a little bit ahead. It's not a good idea to sow beetroot and turnips into seed trays and then transplant them. Just like carrots and parsnips, they don't really like being transplanted individually. They'll very often just bolt or not grow very well. By sowing in modules, what we're doing is we're cluster sowing, and several plants will grow in each module, and then that module is going to be planted out into a hole when everything is ready to transplant. I hope that makes sense. If not, well, you'll be watching along, so hopefully it will make sense. But any questions, put in the comment below. Let's get on with the sowing. We're going to be sowing 3 types of beetroot. Let me show you the seeds. This is the Chioggia, which has white and red concentric circles. This is Avalanche, which is a white beetroot. This is Burpee's Golden, which is, as its name suggests, a yellow beetroot. Now all of these are cluster seeds, so there's a whole load of seeds clustered together. This seed is actually a cluster of seeds. That's how most beetroot seeds grow. So several plants can come from this one seed. If you see mono beetroot, that means that only one plant is likely to germinate. But what we're growing here are all cluster seeds. These are Goldana turnips, which, as their name suggests, are yellow. These are brassicas, and as you can see, the seed is much smaller, and each seed will produce only one plant. Now we're going to fill the modules up with compost. And then just push down with your fingers. Some are bound to be fuller than others, but you can just top up. Right there and down there. You can just top up as you go along. That one's actually got too much in. Take it out. That one's a bit too much. A bit too little now. So I'm sowing 3 seeds per module, about 1 centimetre deep. Don't worry if it's a bit more or a bit less. That's the D. Chioggia. These are the Avalanche. Next we have Burpee's Golden. I dropped too many in there. I think these are, well, maybe Chioggia are as well. The Burpee's Golden and D. Chioggia are my favourites of beetroot. I just love the colours. As I say, 3 or 4 of these seeds, remembering that these here, I accidentally put one in there, these are cluster seeds. I will check, as I say, on the Avalanche. Then finally, the turnips, which again, you only want 2 or 3 seeds in here, in each module. Now, using my fingers, just pushing these down to make sure that these are really well connected with the soil, with the compost rather. Now we're topping these up. Again, push the compost down to make sure that the top of the seeds are in contact with the compost you've just put on top. Add more compost just to level it off. That will do. Then we're going to water them. And now to label them. These are going to stay in our polytunnel, and I will be covering them with a lid at night, but that's just to keep any mice that we may have coming into the polytunnel at bay. If you want to put these outside with a propagator lid on, you can do that, or in a sheltered warm place near your home as well. And then hopefully these will germinate and grow, and in 4 to 6 weeks we'll be planting these out onto the allotment plot. That's our beetroot and turnips modular sown. As I say, hopefully these will germinate and we'll be planting them out in 4 to 6 weeks time. In the meantime, we'll be keeping an eye on them and making sure that the compost stays moist. It doesn't want to dry out, but also you don't want that compost to be too wet either. So don't overwater. As I say, we'll be keeping these in the polytunnel for the time being. During the night, we'll be putting a lid on, a propagator lid, but that's just to keep mice off. These don't need heat at the moment. In March, we will be doing a second sowing of the same varieties, but we'll be direct sowing those. So hopefully by modular sowing these, we'll be getting a bit ahead. And then by direct sowing in March, we'll have our normal crop. And it will be interesting to see the difference between modular sown beetroot and turnips and those that are sown in drills in the soil. So that's it. We'll leave it there. If you've got any questions, please do leave them down below, and obviously any comments as well. And I'll see you again for another grow along video very soon. Bye.